Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel of Duels Quadrant. I'm Mazu, and today we are going to make our video of our Great Britain Grand Prix. If you did miss the previous one of the Austrian Grand Prix, then be sure to go check that one out, because it was a really nice comeback from us after an early crash and a very dismal qualifying. It was the Steering Grand Prix, but a nice comeback, and we've got some points as a result. So today with the Great Britain Grand Prix, and if we are looking on the standings, we are a bit off in the championship to Lewis Hamilton, so we want to close that gap down, hopefully with a win on the Silverstone track. Alexander Albon, our teammate, in P5, and here you can see the rest of the grid. So who is going to take the victory and the pole position in Great Britain? We shall see. Have fun with the video. So let's get into this qualifying, and let's see who is going to take the pole position today on this nice and sunny Saturday. We shall see. So here you can see us in the garage, so we are waiting still for our rollout, and here you can see us on the start of our flying lap. Yeah, this track in Silverstone has a lot of famous turns, like here the village turn 3, or the first turn 1 is called Abbey, and the next turn section, this one is called Maggots and Beckets. I don't know why, but Great Britain, the circuit is has really famous turns, and a famous straight called the Hangar Straight. It's because there's a hangar right close to the straight, because before there was built a racetrack, the track was a military airport, so now you know why the straight is called Hangar Straight. And we are straight going for a second flying lap. The first sector was green, but we've lost a huge amount of time during the second sector, and at the end of Maggots Beckets we've gained 2/10 back. So we are a bit up on our teammate Alexander Albon. So let's see who is going to be on top in our team battle, and this turn is called Stowe. So nice turns, and here the turns are called Bale and Club, this section, and now across the line we are only P11. But we don't have fuel for another flying lap, and if we are going to the end of this session, you can see we are still in P11. The big surprise, again, Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari has knocked out in Q1. I think like in Austria, the Steering Grand Prix was the qualifying of this on this track on the Red Bull Ring. But Vettel in the Ferrari, a great surprise. He's knocked out again in Q1 after Styria or Azerbaijan, I don't know at the moment, but you can check that one out. But I think he's knocked out in Q1 in Austria at the Steering Grand Prix, so go check that one out, because I don't know it just right now. And in Q2 you can see we are out on a set of medium yellow wall compound tires. It's for the strategy for the race tomorrow, so we can go probably for one stop, maybe from mediums to hards, or from mediums to softs if we are good in tire management. But we shall see if we are going to manage it on the mediums into Q3. So that's the first one we need to do, and on the first flying lap we are only in P14. So we need to get another lap in, so we are going for the second lap in a row here. And here you can see us going through this village chicane, and on the next straight, and the end of the straight, this turn is called Brooklands, and Luffield is the next turn. And now we are, you can see we are going into Maggots and Beckets again, and we've nearly gained 5/10. We've lost a bit of time now in the middle of Maggots and Beckets, but at the end of Maggots and Beckets we've gained nearly a second. So we are up on the time we need to get. We need to have to get into the top 10. But if we are going to manage it, we shall see. So in front, the guy in front of us is going into the pits. I don't know who it was. Probably Racing Point, but we've gained at the end of the lap 1.4 seconds, and we are right now in P8, and we are going for third lap in a row because I think the fuel is going to be enough for another lap, and maybe we could improve probably on our time, on our position to make it into Q3 on the medium compound of tires, but unsure right now. We shall see. And through Vale and Club we've lost all the time. We've gained in the first two sectors, and we are living dangerously right now in Q2 in P8. And now we need to make the decision. Should we go out for another flyer and on the soft tires, or should we stay in the pits? And we've decided to stay in the pits and wait to the end of the session. And we are so excited. And what's gonna be? We are out of the qualifying. Bottas fastest, Alexander Albon in P7, Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes only P8, and right now we are in P12 on the mediums. Really disappointing for us. We should have gone out on a set of softs at the end, but let's go into the race.
A warm welcome to you all joining us here at Silverstone today as the grid begins to form up for what we hope will be another phenomenal race. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of Turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Albon, Carlos Sainz and Perez, Norris, Leclerc, Gasly and George Russell, Ocon, Verstappen, Kimi Raikkonen and Stroll, Kvyat, Latifi, Kevin Magnussen and Antonio Giovinazzi. Vettel and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So we won't let you down, Jeff, so don't worry about that. So now to our strategy. We were knocked out in Q2, so we have the free choice of tires. So I think we should start on the mediums to have the softs at the end for maybe to go for fastest lap, but I think we should start on the mediums. I don't know if it's the best strategy, but let's start on mediums. Let's risk it and try to win the race, or even get a podium with the mediums tires at first. So let's go to 5 red lights for the Britain Grand Prix. 5 lights are out and we are on the way, and it's a good start for us, you can say. Already wheel to wheel with George Russell, and we are through 2 cars, but Ocon is re-overtaking us right now, and into the village turn we go. We've made a dive for Leclerc and Ocon, and now into the next turn, turn 4, we are making a dive on Lando Norris and are now up into P7 after 4 turns. So good progress so far from us on the fresh compound of mediums, and now we were very wide through Brooklyn because and through Lufkin because we wanted to get past Sainz round the outside, but it was a bit too ambitious, so we pulled back a bit and now into Bale, and we've managed to pass Sainz and are now up into P6. Hamilton with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And now in front Paris, and we try to chase him down on the slower compound of tires. But let's look at the replay of our race start. So here you can see the 5 red lights, how we are getting to them. And now the lights are out, and the Haas in the background, I think in P20, Grosjean it was, has got a really good start. And the Renault, I think, of Ocon has got a good start as well. So some guys have got a good start, and some carbon fiber was flying off there, but I think the Renault of Ricciardo has got a good start as well. And there you can see the dive from us against Leclerc and Ocon, and here you can see the dive on Lando Norris. So nice progress, and in the background you can see a Williams and a Haas and the Alfa Romeo and the other Haas are going wheel to wheel, and Vettel now in P20, so last. So Latifi and Magnussen are battling away, and Grosjean and Giovinazzi are battling away too. So these fights are really going on into Brooklyn and into Luffield. So nice fighting from the AI. Magnussen has I think defended his position against Latifi, and the fight Giovinazzi and Grosjean is still going on at the end of Luffield. But at the end, I think Grosjean has gone ahead of the Alfa Romeo, and now maybe Vettel could get a move in on Giovinazzi, maybe into Maggots and Beckett's or on the Hangar Straight. We shall see. But here you can see really close between those Ferrari-powered cars. Through Maggots and Beckett's right now, Vettel is really hanging on in that fight, and now on the into the Hangar Straight he's really close. So could he possibly make a move right now? It would be the best decision to make a move on the Hangar Straight, but he was a bit too far behind and a bit too slow in the Ferrari. And now we are with the leader again, and with our teammate Alexander Albon, then Ricciardo, Perez, ourselves, Ocon. You can see that was the move where we've overtaken Sainz. But Sainz into lap number 2 is coming back on us, because we've taken a really wide line through Brooklyn because we wanted to get an overtake done on Sergio Perez. And now into Luffield we've defended our position against Carlos Sainz, but now really wide again on the exit. And now Sainz with the slipstream and the faster tire compound has pulled out to the inside and has got past us on this short straight into Cops. We've run, we are still in the slipstream of Carlos Sainz, and now into Maggots and Beckett's. We want to get an overtake done, but we had to lift off the sofa, and now Lando Norris in McLaren is attacking us into Maggots and Beckett's, and he's past Lando Norris in the other McLaren. And now the Ferrari of Leclerc is sitting dangerously behind us, and we've tried to defend him, and now we are attacking Lando Norris into Stowe, and we've managed it and are now back up into 7th place. But really annoying to have lost the place to Carlos Sainz. So we are now trying to regain that 6th spot for the championship. And now let's see what we can get right now, because Norris is still hanging on in that fight. And now into lap number 5 we are still in the DRS window of Carlos Sainz, but I think maybe because he's on the softer compound, he is now feeling a bit of tire wear, because the softs are starting to wear down right now a bit faster than the mediums we are on. And now we are getting DRS, but Sainz has 2 because Perez in front of him is in his DRS range. And now let's see how this is getting to. And now into lap number 6 we still haven't gained that much on Carlos Sainz, so maybe we could do it at a pit stop, but it will be really interesting how it is getting to, because maybe we could go to the hards, but then we are committing to a one stop, which is probably the same like the softs, so it wouldn't help us. Then we probably could start it on the softs and have gained the same time. And now Norris on this straight into Cops, I think. He is making a move, but we've defending hard and maintained the position against him. And now into Maggots and Beckett's. Let's see if we could defend him against him this time. Yes, we can, because if we are remembering it, on to lap number 2, he's overtaken us into Maggots and Beckett's, and now Leclerc in the Ferrari is past him. And now they are still battling Leclerc and Lando Norris. Norris without DRS, Leclerc with DRS. Around the outside goes Lando Norris into Stowe. But I think Leclerc has got the position and is now up into P7. And now Esteban Ocon in the Renault round the outside of Whale and Club. Really nice battling from the AI again. So, but I think Norris could defend his position. No, Esteban Ocon is still hanging on in that fight, but now he had to lift off the sofa because the fast Abbey was too much for a battle of these two. So Norris has maintained his ninth position. Yeah, and now lap number 9, Leclerc is has really closed up to us. In the Ferrari, and now in front of us still Carlos Sainz, 1.2 seconds ahead, so we are still not gaining that much time, and now we are on negative fuel, so we need to work on saving fuel. And behind us yellow flags into Vale and Club, so I don't know what happened there. We need to look for it again. But we shall see. So the gaps are 5/10 to Leclerc behind and 1.1, 1.2 ahead. And Danny Kvyat in the AlphaTauri is out of the session. Let's watch the replay. What happened there? Here we have the AlphaTauri through Vale and Club, and here you can see he's really slow onto the start finish straight, and I think he's got a mechanical issue, a mechanical failure. And here his teammate Pierre Gasly and the Williams, the Haas, the other Williams, the other Haas, the Ferrari, and the Alfa Romeo is going through. So disappointing for the young Russian who isn't driving in real life today in F1 2021. And now we can see now our teammate and the Mercedes ahead of him are going now into the pits because the soft tires are really worn out. This is lap number 10 into lap number 11. Bottas is the other one who's coming in with Alexander Albon, with our teammate. And now let's see if he could jump Bottas at the pit stops, because if other cars are coming in, you can see a McLaren is coming in, I think the Sainz, then the traffic effect could help him, but no! Bottas was that 10th too fast for our pit crew, so he has maintained this position. And behind them, the Renault is coming in, a McLaren is coming in, so Norris is coming in, Leclerc is coming in, and Leclerc jumped Norris in the pit stops, but Leclerc was ahead, I think. Then the Racing Point, I think, of Paris has come in. Ricardo has come in. Then some guys have stayed out. Williams is coming in from George Russell, and a Haas, I think, from Romain Grosjean. So we shall see how this is going. So the Williams is now into his pit box, and the Haas too. We are following the Williams in. The Williams is going from soft to mediums, and I think the Haas had to wait 5 seconds, because I think maybe he may had a penalty, and the Haas is going into the hard tires. So I think the Haas team is a bit worried about the tire wear at the end. So they've decided to go onto the hards to don't have that much tire wear and probably gain some time on his components, even if he loses time at the start of his stint against the others on mediums. he will gain time at the end on fresher tires, on the hard compound of tires, where the tire wear at the end isn't that high compared with the mediums. But in front, the pack of Ricciardo, Stroll and Sainz are still battling. Then there's Leclerc and Norris, and behind them is Esteban Ocon, then Stroll, Williams of Russell, maybe. Then after this Williams, there is, I think, the Haas of Magnussen, then Latifi, Vettel, an Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi, then the AlphaTauri of Gasly, another Haas, I think from Grosjean, and then we are on us because we are leading this race. And now into lap number 13. Bottas is going to make a move on Raikkonen into Stowe, because Raikkonen is in P3 because he hadn't pitted yet, and now he's got P3 and Raikkonen is coming into the pits anyway. So nice move from Valtteri Bottas, and so nice from him. And now Raikkonen is coming in the pits. So the Alfa Romeo, I think, was lying in third place, I think, for 2 laps right now. So good work from the oldest driver on the grid, you need to say, because in F1 2021 he will be the oldest driver. I'm going to buy this game in December, so you will see some videos of this F1 2020 game until December. So apologies for that, but yeah, that in December, the reason why I'm going to buy it in December is it isn't that expensive as right now, and there aren't as much updates as if you are downloading it right now. So, and now into lap number 15. Hamilton has closed that gap on fresher mediums down, and it may be the time right now to box this lap, and we are coming in because our tires are really worn out, and it is now only 10 laps left, so good time to change onto the soft compound of tires. But if we had come in as the other drivers, we could have changed on the hards. Then I think we're fighting for P5 or so. So let's see how it goes, and if we are gaining time or losing time, we shall see. We are now on fresh softs because we hadn't the opportunity to use that in qualifying, because we've knocked out in Q2 on P12, but we've gained some positions, and in the background you can hear the other cars are going through now on the start finish straight, and now we are on pit exit. As you can see right now, now we are allowed to accelerate. And now, where are we coming out? I don't know where exactly, but I think we were coming out in P11, but we are gaining right now on fresher softs on Lance Stroll on mediums, so maybe we could pass him on this straight. And now we are really gaining, and now we've got the nice camera shot from the helicopter, like that one from Codemasters. Good job everyone who's worked on that camera shot. Into Brooklands, around the outside, the try to make it, and around the outside of Luffield, another try to do it, but we couldn't have done it. And now onto this straight, we are reeling in the slipstream, but now why don't we have the helicopter camera shot anymore? But it doesn't matter, we've got past into Cops, and now up into P10. And now into Maggots and Beckett. Could we defend our position against Stroll? Yes, we can. And Esteban Ocon is 2.0 seconds ahead. So maybe we could catch him for a good P9 position or P8. Better than nothing. Nothing, you need to say, because we've started from P12. And if we are going to make good points today, it would be really great. But we've expected more. At the start of this Grand Prix, we need to say fastest last sector, but it doesn't matter. We need to catch up on this pack in front of us before our tires are starting to wear down, because the softs are starting to wear down really fast on this circuit. And right now into lap number 17, we are gaining on Ocon and Norris and Charles Leclerc ahead. So we shall see if we could make that pass. Yeah, in Austria and the Austrian Grand Prix, we've managed to make a comeback from, I think we've started in P16 or something like that. But then we crashed into Daniel Ricciardo into turn 4, but luckily the safety car was out because we've crashed again with Latifi and Danny Kvyat into turn 8, and so we've managed to still finish in P6. But now Lando Norris into Stowe is battling with Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, and behind them Esteban Ocon is now joining the party, and then we are joining the party on fresh softs as well. So these two battling may have helped us out here, because they are still going wheel to wheel into club, and now Ocon is going to be in the mix as well, and we are in the mix as well. So we made a pass on two cars, on the Renault and the Ferrari, and now could we probably get past Lando Norris soon, because then we are into P7, and this would be the position where we were before the round of pit stops. So now on board with Charles Leclerc, with Esteban Ocon, sorry, and now he's gaining, but he's lift up off the throttle early, because maybe he could have done the switchback move, and now we are back on off board. So yeah, it was nice to see that. And now Leclerc is now making a move on us into lap 18. Our tires are still good, you need to say, but we've made some mistakes in the back-to-backs. Now Ocon is battling with Charles Leclerc, and now we are going 3 wide into Stowe, and Ocon has managed to jump Leclerc with that move, but they are still going wheel to wheel, because Leclerc has come back, and we've maintained our 8th position, and Norris has pulled away a bit. So I think that's what we could get, and Stroll behind them is going to lie interestingly indeed. And now Ocon is round the outside of Abbey, but had to lift off the throttle again, because Abbey side by side isn't a good idea. So he had to lift off the throttle and is now waiting to make a move, maybe into the next straight, but into lap number 20. Hamilton is still leading from Bottas, then Albon, our teammate, then Ricciardo, Sainz, Perez, then Ocon, Norris, Perez, then Ricciardo, Sainz, Perez, Ricciardo, Norris, Ocon, ourselves, then I don't know, you can see it, but I think then was Leclerc, then Raikkonen, Vettel, and Stroll. I think Stroll I've counted already, but here you can see the other guys who is behind them. Then we've got here Haas, and then we are back with Lewis Hamilton in the lead. But now into lap number 22, the tires are, I think they are worn out. If you are looking on the top left right now, Lance Stroll, I can tell you. No, I can't tell you. Sorry. The wrong scene. Apologies. But in lap number 22, we have lost a huge amount of time through those laps, because Norris is now 3 seconds away, 2.8. But the tires are really worn out right now, so the softs are really wearing out very, very fast, you need to say. I don't know why on this circuit, but they are really worn out. But now we are asking Jeff about the datas of Norris in front, and we are losing 8 tenths a lap. So not that great, because his tires are still good and mine are really worn out. So because we've done one fast lap after another fast lap, so that's the reason why our tires are so worn out. And here you can see us now on board a bit, and Ocon is gaining and Leclerc is gaining. So really annoying or disappointing that we may are losing this 8th spot. And now on the top left, now we are correct with the scene. Stroll has managed to jump Leclerc, I think, into Abbey. So nice move. Let's see the replay. Leclerc and Stroll. So Stroll is in the slipstream and now into Abbey on the inside. Leclerc this time who's lift off the throttle, and Stroll has managed to overtake him into Abbey. So write a comment in the comments which overtake was the best. Write it down in the comments. Because I think this overtake was the best. Alongside the 3 wide overtake, but write down in the comments what was your favorite overtake on this Grand Prix. And into lap number 23, they've gained behind. Ocon has gained on us, Stroll has gained on us, and Hamilton has had the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So this could be really interesting if we could defend our 8th position, or if we are losing this 8th position. So Leclerc and the Ferrari out of the points. Norris ahead, 5.2, so we aren't worrying about that anymore. And ahead is Daniel Ricciardo, his actual teammate in 2021. But on the F1 23 game, where we are making these series, this Grand Prix series, there are still the old teams and the old drivers. So Kvyat is in AlphaTauri still, and Racing Point is Racing Point, and Renault is Renault instead of Alpine and Aston Martin. But now nobody could stop Lewis Hamilton. Maybe this is a good omen for the Grand Prix. I mean, I'm not a Lewis Hamilton fan, apologies for that, but maybe this is a good omen that if he could win in our Grand Prix series, he could win the real life Grand Prix on today. So let's see. But Lewis Hamilton is winning the Britain Grand Prix in our Grand Prix series. So he's won his home Grand Prix for the 8th time in his career in our Grand Prix series. Let's see if it's going to happen today. And we are coming home for a P8 spot. Not what we wanted, but these 4 points are better than nothing. The driver of the day is Lance Stroll. He deserved it from my side because he's made some great overtakes. And now let's get to the podium.
Here we are then, a fantastic British Grand Prix, and what a performance it was from our race winners today. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So, as you may have heard it from the side of Anthony Davidson, we are the driver of the day, but the real driver of the day is Lance Stroll. So, Hamilton has won the Grand Prix from Bottas, Albon, Perez, Sainz, Ricciardo, Norris, then ourselves, Ocon, Stroll, Leclerc, Raikkonen, Gasly, Vettel, Magnussen, Russell, Giovinazzi, Grosjean and Latifi, and Danny Kvyat, who has DNF'd from this session. Yeah, Vettel with a strong comeback after he started 19th, really surprised, and we've also gained 4 positions, but Hamilton is the driver of the hour, you can say, the homegrown hero on top. So, and if we are looking now on our standings, we are 69 points behind Hamilton now in the championship. After us, Bottas, but he's a few points down. And then Albon, who's gained a place to Ricciardo in the standings, and Perez has gained a place to Carlos Sainz. This is the rest of the standings. And if we are looking now on our constructors, you can see that we are now 100 points behind Mercedes. And McLaren has gained, I think, 2 positions from Ferrari, and I think McLaren was 6th, but you can check it out on the Austrian Grand Prix. There we have the standings too at the end. And yeah, so if If you like the video, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and like that video if you haven't done yet, and write a comment. How did you find the video? What could we improve on our videos? You can write down negative things too. We are open for everything. So that was doing the video. Have fun and enjoy the rest of the day. See you soon.